Hello, Brobs. We're back with more books. Thanks to the Jehovah's Witnesses who were at my door when I was coming home from my original book, Shopping Adventure. There goes that book. I kept driving, and I went to a local thrift store that's rather close and that I haven't been to in a few weeks because they haven't had much going on. And so these first four books are due to the Jehovah's Witness. Thanks, friends. Diary of a Southern Refugee During the War by a Lady of Virginia. That's like the second Civil War related diary that I found in like the last 2 weeks. It will go on me shelves. So it got a barcode. It does. As you can see, I paid 99 cents for it. I was hoping that the color of the day would be yellow, but it wasn't. It was white, which gave me this book for $2. The Strange Woman. I mean, how can you go wrong with a book named The Strange Woman by Ben Ames Williams? Of course, the cashier took this book and threw it up in the air like it was a goddamn pizza and spun it. I was going to say something, but I didn't. I just kept my face shut. But I wanted to scream. So yeah, there's a book club edition from probably 1941, it says. It's looks like it has a little moisture exposure to it, but what's that matter? So do I. Obviously, it's in that vein of the Gothic romance. During her lifetime, only 7 men and no women really knew Jenny Hager for what she was, a Lieutenant Vincent Carruthers of His Majesty's frigate. Endymion was the first of the 7. No man of lesser qualifications could have been so quick to recognize Jenny's essential attributes. The lieutenant was a handsome young man of 23, tall and a little lank, with a hawk nose. I believe that's aquiline, my love, and pink cheeks. His skin, seldom demanding the attention of a razor, was smooth, but there was a suggestion of downy beard just in front of each ear. His hawk nose was useful to him as an officer, enabling him to assume a severe and commanding demeanor simply by composing his countenance to match its bold and ruthless proportions. I will add this to my reading list of books, although it appears that I have called quits on such an endeavor. I actually am just confined to the basement due to the sweltering heat. I will continue once it's more reasonably weathered. Dmitry Merezhkovsky, The Romance of Leonardo da Vinci. At first I thought this was one of those reproductions, but it is definitely not. It's a 1930s. Wilma Grace Carpenter. I wonder if she's related to the Carpenters who built a lake, a man-made lake in my town of Wayne. Second printing, 1931. There he is, Leonardo. The Romance of Leonardo da Vinci. I mean, how could I pass this up for $2? So yeah, thanks, Jehovah's. $2. Here's another one. This one was only $1. If we could ever get it to focus. Doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. I say the hell with that. And I was really perturbed by this. I don't like when people cross out the library of. I'll somehow try to remove that. Panzer-Leader, General Heinz Guderian, 1952. E.P. Hutton, Dutton, whatever the hell it is. E.F. Hutton. Yeah, you know the Panzers. German Nazi bastards. Who were funded by Wall Street. We all know the story. Yeah. Let's get a couple of these out of the way. Dean Koontz's Frankenstein, the novel, Book 1, Prodigal Son. Somewhere in the annals of this this cluttered basement, I have another one in this series. Knowing my luck, it's probably the same one. And I should have had it scanned into the database, but I didn't, so maybe I do. Maybe that's why this one didn't come up as a secondary copy, so yeah. Jaws. The Deep by Peter Benchley, the author of Jaws. I don't know if someone robbed a bank while carrying this or what happened, but there it is. What year is this? 77, second printing. I assume it's the same kind of bullshit. On a perfect day in Bermuda, a honeymooning couple dive into the offshore reefs. They are looking for the wreck of a sunken ship. What they find is surprising and learn blah, blah, blah. I don't care. High Treason. I'm assuming I already have this book, but looking over there at my Kennedy collection, I don't see it, so I was right to get it. It was only 50 cents. I may have it in hardcover. The Assassination of President Kennedy and the New Evidence of Conspiracy. Obviously, you know what the fuck conspiracy is. Christopher Pike, Spooksville. The Cold People. Their touch was like ice. Well, Johnny, happy birthday, Mike, from Angelo. That was nice of you, Angelo. Never seen the Spooksville series, but then again, I never looked for it either. A Little Bit of Dreams, an introduction to dream interpretation. I probably already have this. I did not check. I don't know why I didn't check. I don't recall why I didn't check. There's too many people milling about, so I wanted to get out of there. But this book looks familiar, but I don't really care. I have enough doubles of dream interpretation books that I can sell them as a lot and recoup the 50 cents rather easily. They bought it at Urban Outfitters. Why? Handbook for the Recently Deceased. At first, I thought it was just a journal. But then I read this little preface. Geographical and temporal perimeters. Functional perimeters vary from the manifestation to manifestation. In case of an emergency, draw a door and knock 3 times. This book is a replica of the original Handbook for the Recently Deceased, as seen in the 1988 film Beetlejuice. The cover and its first 2 pages of this book have been painstakingly recreated using the genuine prop which was used for filming. The original Handbook prop was consigned directly by J.C. Bennett, who at the time was a young production assistant who worked on the film back in 87 and 88. There were several identical handbook props made for the film. These were created using the psychology textbook Measurements of Human Behavior by Edward B. Greene as a foundation. Aside from the cover and first couple pages, the remainder of the books were left unchanged. This book you're holding has recreated the cover and those pages. Since no actual content exists for the essence of this book, we've cleared the rest of these pages for it to be used as a journal or sketchbook should you wish. It's like a great way to make some money off some idiots. Well, this idiot only paid 50 cents, so I'd seen it before at that thrift stall, but I never really opened it and seen what it was about. Voltaire, Candide, or Optimism. I don't like this cover, but kid at work who's into reading collects Penguin classics, so if I already have this copy, I will pass it to him. He's like, I get these off the internet. And I'm like, that's great. I can literally get them probably one a week for 50 cents. And so far, I've basically proven that. I've seen more in the past. Sometimes I see like 5 of those at a time. Saint Rafqa, the Lebanese nun, her life and spirituality. by Father Paul Sphere. Yeah, Reverend Father Paul Sphere is without a doubt most qualified to write about the life of newly canonized Saint Rafqua, highly experienced in library science and a historian in Maronite spirituality. He was, for several years, the dean of the Pontifical Faculty of Theology at the University of the Holy Spirit at Catholic. Yeah, I have a small collection of books about nuns. Why not? Ghost Hunters, Robert David Chase, Ed and Lorraine Warren, The Conjuring Universe. Ed and Lorraine, who the hell wrote it? Is it them or is it about them? I don't know what's going on. True stories from the world's most famous demonologists. Oh, I see. I probably already have this book, but whatever. This book I didn't want to get, but it was so stupid I had to get it since I collect Shakespeare and Shakespeare-related stuff. Shakespeare saved my life. 10 years in solitary with the Bard, a memoir by Laura Bates. Shakespeare professor and prison volunteer Laura Bates thought she had seen it all, that is, until she decided to teach Shakespeare in a place the Bard had never been before, supermax solitary confinement. That's not true. I thought he did. Yeah, maybe that was just in that book I'm reading. I think I finished it, yeah. See Shakespeare Sweetheart. Yeah. They claimed he was in jail. So you don't know shit, lady. Study your Shakespeare better. Of course, that was a historical novel, so who knows if I'm wrong or right. Don't care. I'm right. I'm right! Rule by Secrecy, Jim Maws. The hidden history that connects the Trilateral Commission, the Freemasons, and the Great Pyramids. I never actually read the cover. I did not know that's what it was about. The Great Pyramids, too, huh? Crazy. Anyway, I have at least 2 copies of this. Now I got free. It's going to be a great bookstore when I open it. This one will go to me mother, but not till I see her next week. The Mammoth Book of Bizarre Crimes, Incredible Real-Life Murders, Robin Odell. Pretty much, you can guess the rest. Bizarre crimes. You couldn't make it up. I mean, I could. Stamped. Racism, anti-racism, and you. A remix of the National Book Award winning Stamped from the beginning. I don't know if this is a critique on racism, anti-racism, or this is not a history book. This is a book about the here and now, a book about race. At that store, I did see a couple copies of what's that one book? White Fragility. I already have 1 copy, so don't plan on buying multiple copies of that. But anytime I see these kind of race sort of books, I get them. Don't buy into the doctrine, but what's that? When's it ever stopped me? Tales of the Punjab, Folklore of India. Bought this mainly for this Mylar jacket that's on there that I will swap out, since I don't believe this is a very rare or vintage antique book. Could be, though. What am I saying? 1983. It's technically vintage, but damn, Mr. Sundram. You wanted that book stamp everywhere. You must have cared about this book, buddy. There's multiple stickers throughout it. Oh, look. That fucker is loose. That definitely takes away your Mylar privileges. But I'll still keep the book. So I've got folklore from most countries. Well, not most. I guess that's a fucking farcical statement. Animal speak. The spiritual and magical powers of creatures great and small. Includes a comprehensive dictionary of animal, bird, and reptile symbolism. I assume this is Native American, but no, shamanism, nature, and magic. Tune to your spirit animal. All right, motherfuckers. Martin. Hey, there's Martin. Feather magic. Feather. And if you've ever wondered why I, unlike most presenters, which are generally presenters of books, I should say, which I would say 75% of them are 20-some-year-old women, usually good looking, who just like to pin their face to the same video as a book. Not sure why, but I suppose dudes do it too. On this channel, you're not getting that kind of fucking pep. You're getting books, because it's about the books. No one gives a shit about me. Oh, look at this. The cat. Fuck. I just found the cat. Not that it was a secret. We'll put a little thing in there for the kitten, bruv. We will read about the kitten. Maybe that is my spirit animal. Yeah. So dudes do the same thing. So it's not all about attention. I don't know what it's about. But I'll give you some perspective that when a dude shows his face on there and puts a book next to it, mostly it's about him. I don't know. Maybe ownership of the books. I believe a lot of the women just want attention, and most of their attention comes from the fact that they're good looking. Can't say all of it, but that's on average. John Klima, The Game Must Go On, Hank Greenberg, Pete Gray, and the Great Days of Baseball on the Home Front in World War II. Greenberg, like many of his fellow superstars, I think felt guilty about, making a small fortune back then, $100,000 or $50,000, whatever it was, while average young men their age was going to war, so many of them signed up. Not that that's why they were guilted into it, but many of them were patriotic. Personally, I wouldn't have signed up, but Greenberg was one who did. I think Joe DiMaggio, maybe Stan Musial, I don't know all of them. Ted Williams definitely did. Charlie Gehringer, DiMaggio, Pretty. Yeah, so a bunch of these guys signed up and I think Greenberg was a fighter pilot, which that ain't no fucking sinecure. That's the real deal, buddy. The ultimate history of video games. Stephen L. Kent. The story behind the craze that touched our lives and changed the world. Look at all this, all over video games. I have another book on video games. I don't know what it's called, but probably will sell both because I think they're both worth some money. Not like $100, but like $15, $20. What the hell am I going to do with a book about video games? There was another book at the thrift store I went to when the Jehovah's were here that was the secrets that the video superstars use to win or whatever, but it was beat up, so falling apart. So I didn't get it. Otherwise, I would have. It would have been a perfect accoutrement to this one. When Women Ruled the World, Making the Renaissance in Europe. Maureen Quilligan. This book's rather new. Live Right Publishing, 2021, so 3 years old. I don't know what it's about. Most of these books I don't look into. I just get them. Looks interesting enough. Heinz Kinderman, Theater Geschichte der Goethezeit. I don't know what the hell that means. I obviously didn't pronounce it right. Der Goethezeit. Goethezeit. Don't know what year it is. It's not in great condition. But it's from the library of Wayne University, which is in Detroit, obviously. H. Bauer Verlag Wien. It's probably from the 1948. There you go, 1948-ish. Does that say Vorwort? Vorwort. I didn't know that was how you said forward. Enjoyment. Joyman. There was one good page that had one of these illustrations with the stamp underneath. I liked it. Very good look. Probably never find it again, even though I turned to it 7 times when I was leafing through it. Where is it? Doesn't matter. I say to hell with that. Oh, there it was. I just saw it. Look at that. Caroline Neuber, Library of Wayne University. Then there's also the library pocket on the back. Library of Wayne University. See if anyone checked it out. Yet, nobody checked that fucker out. That's why it's in a library book sale. Unless this book is returned on or before the last date stamp below, a fine will be charged. My guess is it wasn't checked out because it was probably in the reference section. It's got an older look to it than 48, but never know. The Merrymaker, which is from the Young Folks Library, which unfortunately I recently sold. I don't know how many different editions or volumes, but I don't believe this is one of them. 1953, Sarah M. Knapp. The Merrymaker. I guess I should have sold them. Lear, Cowper, Rand, W.B. Rand, that is. Queen Alice by Lewis Carroll. Yeah, it's basically just that kind of stuff. Children's fantasy. Wait, Baron Munchausen. I have that book. Baron Munchausen in Russia. Yeah, so I sold these volumes and now I start again. I really like this cover. Is that a harlequin? Looks like one. Death. What should we believe about the nature of death? How should the knowledge of our mortality affect the way we live? By Shelley Kagan. Open Yale courses. There's that. Thinking about death, dualism versus physicalism, arguments for existence of the soul, Descartes' argument, Plato on the immortality of the soul, personal identity, choosing between the theories, the nature of death, 2 surprising claims about death, the badness of death, and the boldness. Good enough cover to get. Not a great looking book. This book I'm probably guessing I have, The Day Kennedy Was Shot by Jim Bishop. Funkin' Wagnalls, 1968. This book is dedicated to Kelly Bishop, my wife, my assistant, my life. Good man. Very good man. Unfortunately, it doesn't have the jacket, but no jacket required. Phil Collins. Leisure and Entertainment in America. Probably wouldn't have gotten this. Oh yeah, I forgot I got this too. My Town. It's great when I keep finding stuff from the city I live in. Burbina Saunders. It's a great name. She should be easy to look up. The year is this 89. It's only 35 years ago, but Babina. Pretty sure there's that many Babina Sanderses out there. Sanders. I wouldn't have purchased this book if it wasn't for the fact that it was based on the collections of the Henry Ford Museum in Greenfield Village. Fortunately, it's missing its cover. Year 1988. Not its cover, but its dust jacket. The Wonderful Wizard of Oz by L. Frank Baum. The useful should be preferred to the agreeable. Playthings can please but a moment, while books are always amusing. Didn't know that they had books. At the Ford Museum, Henry Ford Museum. I guess it makes sense. Braden, Donna R. Braden. No dust jacket. Don't care. Pretty good haul. I'm proud of myself. Good boy.